to be in a challenging phase at the moment, attempting to stamp his authority on the party he chose to further his presidential ambitions. And before the break, you told us that you have a significant amount of support within UDF in response to our queries, us pushing you about why you haven't left UDF and gone on to start your own party. But there's also the question about, your end game, what it is you're trying to achieve. And it seems that you're getting your house in order ahead of 2017. Is that to say that you intend to present yourself as a candidate again in 2017?
Yes, that is precisely the point. A political party, we are in competitive politics, we are in a multi-party system, and elections come every 5 years. And to me, after every election, political parties are entitled to look at their performance and see how they can improve. And so do the individuals in this political contest. So I believe what we are doing, and if we do it successfully, will improve our chances in the next general election.
What lessons did you learn from the previous election, 2013?
I think there are many lessons you can learn, but let me put it, because in this context we're talking about a political party. A political party that has good structures all the way to the grassroots is a very, very important asset during an election.
And to what extent is this also an attempt to secure the base in Western Kenya, which is where you originate from?
Yes, I would like to do that. If that region feels that the party has reorganized appropriately, then definitely we are likely to get more membership and more support from that region. But by and large, let me put it that as we reorganize, we want to reorganize and also be able to have an outreach beyond the region where I was born.
Okay, so this from Charles Otieno Awuko. Honorable Mudavadi, why is it that you're always making fatal political decisions all the time? You're always indecisive, and it looks as if you're holding brief for some political heavyweights.
Very interesting question. I don't know what is a fatal political decision. If one was to look at the situation of the history of the presidency in this country, save for Mzee Jomo Kenyatta and Daniel Arap Moi, you will find that Mwai Kibaki contested many times. 3 times. So did he make fatal mistakes? We have Raila, who wants to contest a 4th time. He has said so. Are we saying that he's making fatal mistakes? We have Uhuru, who contested once. He didn't make it. Was it a fatal mistake now that he is there? So I think it's...
I think the fatal mistake is in respect of the political decisions you have made. Like moving out of ODM, which others thought had more promise for you, and then 2, now sticking with UDF, which people think is not taking you places.
Or even that time when he was last one to be left in Kano. Many other people went out of Kano. He left there.
Yeah, but
not contesting as such.
I think we need to move ahead. I mean, if you are a politician, you take risks. Yeah. Some decisions can bear fruits instantaneously. Some decisions will take a little longer to mature, and some, of course, could be fatal. Okay, but I don't think I've reached a stage where I would say that I've made fatal mistakes.
There is so much pegged on. I mean, perhaps how much are you vesting in Luhya unity in your bid in future politically, going for your next bid? So much of that talk in Western.
By the way, this is you happen to come from there by sheer coincidence. But this talk about Luhya unity has been there for years.
Yes.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong if a community wishes that they want to coalesce over a particular issue. But don't you find it strange that in the media we keep on playing about Luya unity, but we never talk about Kikuyu unity, we never talk about Kamba unity, we never talk about Luo unity. So why is this fixation? We never talk about Somali unity.
Well, they also do.
Why is there a fixation about Luya unity? I think we need to move forward and go beyond this.
I think you need to be fair to the journalists who are, reporting these things, because you'll hear about, the Kalenjin community looking for someone else to pin their hopes on because there is a discontent with the deputy president. You never necessarily hear that coming out of Central, but you will hear, for instance, that Kambani, the Wiper leader, is going to try and shore up support, and that support is being contested by, say, another leader from Ukambani. So there is a preoccupation with the politics of ethnicity in this country. And I do believe we asked you that question the last time you were here on Cheche making your presidential bid, and your response at that time, if I remember correctly, was this was an unfortunate characteristic of our political landscape, and until that changes, it would be foolhardy to ignore that.
Well, I still maintain this, and I said that there's nothing wrong if a community feel they want to coalesce around a particular issue. That is perfectly in order. But going forward, and if I may call it my understanding of the Luya community, there's no way you're going to sit in a boardroom and expect that you have come out with a decision on Luya unity. If that is the way people expect it,
that decision can be arrived at.
It will never
come out of that boardroom, and there's only one person who is running for president.
Chances are the others will not come out because maybe they are dead inside. so the point I'm trying to make here is that if we want to talk about Luya unity, let's agree that you'll have to galvanize a political party. People will have to see that this political party has chances, and they will then coalesce around that political party and the candidates of that political party. This is the best way I would put it. But I think we would be overstretching if we said that you're going to put people in a boardroom.
Yes.
Because the moment they go into the boardroom, others will ask and say, who said that they're the only leaders?
But then that doesn't, I'm sure this not ring very well in Western or among the Luya people, because they will expect you to be telling them right now, let's stand together as a community.
True.
Wasn't that the expectation as
Actually, that's a great opportunity for us to hear from some of the listeners in Western.
Yes. Can I answer that?
Let him answer that.
Yes, I do agree that I would tell them, let us work together, let us pull together. That I would do. And I always say that when I have an opportunity to address them. But I do not try and force them to a situation where they say, this is the final decision, and you must toe the line or push out. No, I don't do that.
Okay, there is some support coming in from you, a lot of criticism, but from Western, it's largely criticism. Mudavadi has no language that can make him form a party of his own or attract voters. I came from Edward in Western. Andere in Molo is even harsher. Mudavadi is our political cartoon in Western. He's a non-starter in everything he does. He was only forced into politics. That was from Andere in Molo. And then here in Western, we know Mudavadi is politically dead. We will never vote for him again. And this is just a sample of some of the messages that are coming in from...
but you're not reading the positive ones.
Okay, that's from Western. Now your supporters.
Now let's look at the national.
These are your supporters.
All right.
I'm a member of UDF, and I have no problem with Mudavadi leading UDF, Kashoka, in Laikipia. There was someone who said that the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi should be a pastor or a bishop. He's too meek and gentle. And then there was, well, there was one other supporter whom I can't find at the moment. But the criticism, the detractors, by far outweigh the support, and the criticism seems to be harshest from Western.
There's no harm. I think it's perfectly in order for me to be criticized. It's absolutely essential that I am criticized from time to time. And I would be very happy at some stage, maybe to even engage and know a little more about these individuals and why they feel the way they feel about me. But that does not become a deterrent in us saying that we have our constitutional rights, we have an opportunity, the future is there, and I'm not going to relent on that future. I have an opportunity to participate, and I would like at some stage to be able to persuade some of those individuals to think differently.
There are people, of course, who think that, of course, you know there is serious opposition or challenge to your bid as well within Western. Moses Wetangula has been declaring for the longest. He's running in 2017. There are others in the woodwork, no, in the bush, about to emerge.
Yes.
And those who feel that your chance is spent, that you were given a chance last election, and that you didn't pull it off, so there should be somebody else to lead that Luya quest for the presidency.
Why should I be why should I be given only one chance, and we are seeing other contestants from other areas being given more than one chance, and the Luyas then judging themselves so harshly, if that is what they feel? Because you cannot have a situation where then you'll be producing one candidate. At every other election you believe that you have a new candidate.
But what are you doing?
I think if you look at the politics of this country, is that Kibaki put a fairly consistent onslaught on this thing, and eventually he got it. Raila is putting a fairly consistent onslaught. Uhuru did not abandon it on the first time. He bid his time and he came back and he contested. So I have made only one attempt, and that was the last general election. So I'm not stopping anybody else from coming forward come 2017. No, they are entitled to do so.
There's a question.
What you are saying is this, that unlike Raila, who is always seen, he's always there. Since you lost, there's not much of you which has appeared anywhere. I don't know, for instance, whether you formed a foundation like other politicians to champion causes. I do not know what you are doing to forge Western unity. You're just there. You only appear there because of the quarrels that are there in your party.
No, I think I've been involved in a number of activities in Western Kenya and in other parts of the country. But I also believe in a situation where we say that there's time for everything. I think after coming from a general election, I always believe that there must be some time for reflection, and there must be time to do a few other things before you come back into the fold. Now, that is my style. Now, other politicians have their style. So let them go through their processes, and I'll go through mine.
There's a question of strategy from Makani in Kakamega. Do you think the residents of Kakamega County will stand by you if you suspend Senator Boni, who really committed himself for you to become president?
I think he's missing the point. Personally, I have not suspended Senator Boni Kalwale. I would like to advise him that if he follows carefully, I did say here that members met and members made that decision. I did not convene the meeting. I did not chair the meeting. That is one thing. Secondly, I would like to just draw him to the provisions of the Political Parties Act, Article 14. What does it say about a member who does not propagate or show respect for his party and continues to champion positions that are completely divorced from his party? What does that article say? So I have not at this stage been involved in suspending him, but the members are expressing their displeasure that the way he has been articulating himself has not been in conformity with the party constitution.
Okay. Before you come in, David, as we wind up, you've talked about, you referenced the tribunal, the Political Parties Act just now. Within that context, the legislative framework, do you think anything could be done differently, given that your troubles within UDF are not unique to UDF? We're seeing the same across the board. So is there something wrong with our political architecture?
I think it calls for some review, because when you see so many of these challenges in different political parties, then we have the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. It calls for a review in those areas. I think the efficiency levels need to be tackled. I think we need
Why do you say efficiency? What's the problem
because part of the issues that arise are records not being accurate.
So for instance, you claim to be a member of UDF and the registrar says you're not.
No, you see that there's also confusion that comes out of the way the records are presented. Because I could not have been a presidential candidate if I'm not a member of that party, you see. So there clearly there's some mischief that is going on, and it needs to be tackled, because it could have serious implications on another occasion, and it can be very, very explosive for the country. Secondly, I think it's important that the Office of the Registrar is what you cannot have somebody acting for too long. It's not fair. They should either confirm the person in the office. You cannot keep on having somebody sitting on the edge of the chair, not knowing whether I will be confirmed or not confirmed, and expect that that person might not feel intimidated in certain circumstances. So these are issues that need to be dealt with.
Okay. So where, David, quickly before we ask the final question.
This is double-barreled and loaded, I must say. There are two things. One about the strategy that Udwak just mentioned. And those who think that you are not aggressive enough in your push, first for what you want, and then two, that when you take charge, again, your visibility is not there, present. For example, what is going on with the Amani coalition? I mean, there is KANU, there is New Food Kenya, there's UDF. But anybody, if you ask me, I wouldn't tell you what the coalition does. It entered into a cooperation with the government, with Jubilee. Question there I asked, what are the dividends of that cooperation? The most we could come up with is Chief Whip, Deputy Chief Whip, Musalia, who is associated more with William Ruto, actually, than, you know.
I don't want to talk about his personal friends. I think the fact of the matter...
Politically, I mean, we follow political trends, so the people who are being said to be associated with URP, wrongly or rightfully,
I think it's a little bit, that's a very harsh judgment, my friend.
Okay.
Because the truth of the matter is that Washali is Deputy Whip in Parliament, okay? He's serving that. He has his personal friends. William Ruto may be his personal friend. So we cannot hold it against him on that.
This is about the political affiliation and agenda.
Now the other thing is that we have, for instance, through the corporation, seen people like Masafu, Dr. Masafu, become an ambassador recently. We have seen Professor Godia being appointed to go to head UNESCO in Paris. We have seen Agri Shizama being taken to the African Union in Addis. Now, this is a process that we would like to see more of. But it's part of what I said, that where people may not have voted for you, we would like to see further and more participation of citizens of those regions being involved in the governance of this country.
What about yourself?
No, I'm very comfortable building the party, UDF, and handling my private sector activities.
Would you accept a position if Jubilee offered you one?
I don't think, I never think of it. And I've said very clearly that I prefer being where I am, and I'm saying it again. I prefer being outside. I prefer working on the UDF party. and I prefer working on my business matters.
You haven't answered my question. If they offered you something,
I've said no.
would it say yes or no?
I've said no.
Speculation has
no,
been on the cards for a long
stated your
time.
preference, not yes
in
or
fact,
no.
let me just put it to you this. So there's been speculation for a long time that you were due for appointment, and there are 2 cabinet slots that are always waiting for you and Eugene Wamalwa as part of that cooperation, which never come through.
You know, you've called it speculation.
Yes.
So we leave it at that.
So there is no...
So we're out of official time, actually. We've been living on borrowed time. And so as we wind up, today's conversation addressed the fortunes or misfortunes of UDF and party leader and presumed presidential aspirant, because he has said that he will run again, Musalia Mudavadi. So, Mutegi, I'll start with you. Do you think that, given what we've heard today, you know, criticism, support, the reasoning from our guest, Mr. Mudavadi, that there is a future at the helm of Kenya's leadership for Mr. Mudavadi?
With all due respect to him, I think he needs to work harder. As he said, at the admit, this party was done and was told to come in, and those people feel that party is theirs. And him want to put his own people there. So I think he needs to do some more serious work on that.
Take the gloves off.
Yeah.
David, what do you think?
I would agree. I mean, Mutegi, I would agree with Mutegi. I think that he needs to take more radical measures, in my view. Such as launch a party. If those people are in UDF because of him, and they ran on that party because he was in it, he has no business entertaining all the chaos there, when he can move and we can test his mettle when he moves and sets up another party, and there's time to do so. And on the second front,
I maybe he's doing that through ANC.
But the Congress name has, I mean, their Manning name has been rejected, so there's a bit of work there to be done.
No, it has not been rejected. Can I correct this?
Okay.
See, the Amani name, the letter that came from the Register of Political Parties is that it has been spared because of the Amani coalition. Now, we are members of the coalition, so internally, internally we can discuss and find a solution over the title of Amani. So it is not blocked in the sense that you cannot use it at all. It's a question of the members of that coalition just saying, yes, we are ready to use it.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess I'll leave it there.
Right. Okay. Thank you. And so, sir, as you give us your final thoughts, given the opinions offered by our panel and some advice, do you really think that you can make it, that you see yourself in the history books as one of Kenya's presidents?
Do you see a reason why I cannot make it? I believe everybody has a chance. Once you have put in you have the relevant legal requirements, you should never underestimate any politician. And I think Kenyans tend to sometimes stereotype in an unfortunate manner. Let me give the Obama example. When he came to Kenya and he was addressing the university here, very senior people in this country said, this is a junior senator, he cannot make it. And he went out there and eventually he did make it. All right. So I think let us not fall into the trap of trying to prejudge people.
Even he was called a passing cloud.
He was called a passing cloud, and he was there. The cloud was not passing until after 24 years. You know. These are issues. President Kibaki was called what?
A fence sitter.
A fence sitter, or you would be called General Kigwaya and all that. But he became president. So I think we need to move away from that and learn to respect each other, and we learn to live with each other, learn to tolerate each other as a nation. And I can tell you that I would also have confidence in you if you said one day you want to contest. I'll not disparage you.
That's very kind of you.
So I think this is what Kenyans ought to reflect on. It's not about disparaging, it's not about what. Let people have the opportunity. Let them contest, then let the Kenyans make the decision.
Thank you very much. We'll end our conversation there. Once again, many thanks to today's guest, Musalia and Mudavadi, for a very frank engagement with us here on Cheche. Our thanks also to our panelists, Otegin Jao and David Makali. We thank you for watching. This is Cheche. We've been live on Citizen TV. My name is Udwa Kamimo. Do enjoy the rest of your week.